Operation Savage Rabbit, Turn 2 UK. So for our build, we're going to build 8 infantry, we're going to build 1 artillery, 1 fighter, 1 tank, and 1 tech. So if we tally those together, that comes to a total of 48 for my last turn, so I spend all my IPCs. So sobering moment for the British. The Japanese are thundering down towards India. So I put all these units here, but this is an enormous fleet that's gathered off, approaching our coast. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch an attack. We're declaring war on Japan. And what we're going to do is we're going to send 2 tanks from India. We're going to send those up the Burma Road and attack Yunnan with 2 tanks. And we're also going to send in 2 aircraft. And also we're going to send a infantry unit that's in Burma in there as well. So that's that combat. The other combat is, so this swordfish is actually a dive bomber or torpedo bomber. And then this is a fighter, of course, represented by the Spitfire. So what we're going to do is we're going to send our dive bomber and attack the merchant ship that's sitting there all by itself. And then we're going to send in the Spitfire and attack Transjordan. And we're also going to C-Zone 80. We're going to pick up this tank and infantry. And then we're going to do an attack to Transjordan. And we can also do a bombard with this cruiser in support of that amphibious assault. We're also going to take this cruiser and bring that in. So there'll be 2 cruisers supporting that attack. So that's all the combats. So let's do those first. So 2 fighters going in, 1 unsupported infantry, 2 tanks. We have 4 Japanese infantry and 2 artillery. So we're going to do that attack. So with 2 tanks, 2 aircraft, and the aircraft have 2 to land, and then 1 unsupported infantry for a total of 5. And we score a total of 3 hits. So that's pretty good for the first round. That's 3 hits. So the Japanese, of course, fire back. So they have 4 infantry and 2 artillery. And they miss. Wow. Okay, so that's 3 hits on the Japanese. So the British again attack. And they get 1 hit this time, so not as impressive. But a hit is a hit, so that's 1. And the Japanese get the fire. And they also get 1 hit. So now it's 2 tanks and 2 aircraft. We've lost our unsupported infantry. And this time we get 3 hits. So the Japanese force is destroyed. And they fire back. And they miss. So that must have caught them by surprise. So attacking Transjordan. We have 1 tank, one infantry against, and then a fighter, and we have 2 cruisers coming in as well in support, because it is an amphibious assault. So 2 cruisers, a tank, and an aircraft, and an unsupported infantry. So we get enough to hit it. Of course, they fire back, and they miss. So the other combat is the attack on the transport. So the transport is gone, can't defend itself. So Transjordan is again British. So now we're going to do our non-combat move. So we're going to land our Swordfish back in Egypt. We're going to land our Spitfire back in Egypt. So these 2 fighters that attack Yunnan are going to fly back to India. And I'm going to move 1 infantry from Malaya into Shan State. And that's my move. So now I'm going to put on my reinforcements. So I have 2 infantry and a tank goes into Calcutta. In the UK, I put in, I have now a total of 3 fighters. I had 6 infantry and an artillery. So, disposition of forces. In the UK, in Scotland, we have 1 anti-aircraft. In London, we have 1 artillery, 3 fighters, 4 anti-aircraft, and we've got a total of 10 infantry. Oh, I'm gonna send my strat bomber into London, so that includes 1 strat bomber. I'm gonna leave the destroyer here in Nova Scotia. In Gibraltar, I'm gonna leave. I've got a mech and an infantry. I'm going to send this fighter up into London as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a total of 4 fighters in London. A mech and an infantry in Gibraltar. In Transjordan, I've got a tank and an infantry. In Egypt, I've got 2 artillery, 1 mech, 1 fighter, 1 tactical, 1 AA, a tank, 6 infantry. And in C-Zone 81, I've got a aircraft carrier, 2 cruisers, and 2 transports. Just a minute, I got to move these units here. Sorry about that, I forgot. Okay, so the destroyer N-37 is going to go to 41 and then go to C-Zone 39, and then the battleship is going to move 1, 2, 3, so it's going to go in C-Zone 76. And this destroyer is also going to go in C-Zone 76. In India, I have 2 fighters, 3 anti-aircraft, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 tank, 1 destroyer in C-Zone 39. And I've got 2 tanks in Yunnan, 1 infantry in Shan State, 2 infantry in Malaya, 2 infantry in Hong Kong. Okay, and then I count up my points. So I lose my bonus for Egypt, Transjordan, El Alamein, but I get a bonus for Hong Kong, Malaya, so that's still 5. So I get 48 again for my next turn because I haven't lost any territories. So moving on to China. So China is going to do 1 attack. It's got 9 IPCs, so it can build 3 infantry. So it's going to do 1 attack against Queqiao. It's going to send in 2 infantry from Sichuan. That's going to send 2 infantry and 1 aircraft into there. So we're going to do that combat. So we have 2 infantry and 1 aircraft, and I can roll all 3 because the Japanese infantry defends it at 2. So we get a hit on both sides. So we have Queqiao now, and the plane lands back in Sichuan. And so for next, and now we put on our reinforcements. So we're going to put all the units in Sichuan. And for next turn, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points for China, and that's China's turn. Thank you very much.